Welcome back to the channel, folks. Today's video isn't going to be automotive related, although I do need to learn how to weld because the Flex wanted to flex on a Ferrari, and in the process, the Flex broke its flex pipe. Back to here, I digress. This is going to be technology related because it's 2022 and I was looking for a phone to replace my aging S10 Plus. There's nothing wrong with this phone here in 2022 other than I don't have 5G. It's no longer waterproof as the back has some extra art added to it. In doing that research, I formed an opinion that between 2019 and moving forward now, here in 2022, Samsung is falling into the practice of skimpflation. And it was really hard for me to find a phone that can replace my S10 Plus feature for feature. And I settled on a phone from 2020, the Note 20 Ultra, that I purchased Black Friday from Samsung as a certified renew phone for $700. Thus, let's go back in time 3 short years to 2019 to when the S10 Plus was launched. When the S10 was launched in 2019, Samsung launched 4 S10s at once. And it's the only time Samsung has ever launched 4 models at one time. You had the S10e for $750. You had the S10 for $900. You had the S10 Plus for $1,000, the one I have here, and you had the S10 5G. The 5G was initially Verizon exclusive, and the S10e was kind of hit or miss. But here's some notes about all of these phones. All of the phones had expandable storage. All of them had an audio jack, and all of them had USB 3.1 Type-C as the transfer protocol. The 10, the 10 Plus, and the 5G all rocked a 1440p display underneath Gorilla Glass 6. Gorilla Glass 6 was also on the back. The S10e was a smaller 5.8-inch screen, 1080p flat display using Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and on the back. At this point in time, you got the headphones, you got a wireless adapter, not a wireless adapter, you got the wall adapter included in the box. A few other notes. The S10 Plus is the only Samsung device that has a dual selfie camera. Yes, the Fold has 2 cameras, but they're on opposite screens. And the S10 5G is the first Samsung phone to launch with 1 terabyte of internal storage. Some would say, or some may say, that the S10 Plus was the pinnacle, the highlight of Samsung devices. For $1,000, you got a lot of value for this phone. Triple camera setup, expandable storage, 6.4-inch display, I believe was the Plus, 1440p. And this was the highlight. But as we move to 2019, you can see the shit at the top of the hill starts to move down. In the fall of 2019, Samsung launched 2 Notes, not 1, 2. And this is kind of foreshadowing about what they're doing with their product line. You have the base Note at $950, and you have the Note 10 Plus at $1,200. The base Note 10 only had a 1080p display and did not have expandable storage. If you wanted expandable storage, you had to go to the Note 10 Plus, and it had a 1440p display with expandable storage. Both Notes had Gorilla Glass 6 front and back. Both of them had USB 3.1 as the transfer protocol. But neither one of them had the audio jack. Maybe it's the beginning of the end. "2020 is where that shit that was rolling down the hill kind of picks up some speed. But 2020 is also where Samsung did a few things for the last time. 2020 series, the S20 series, also went up in price. Samsung launched 3 models that year, including the new moniker Ultra for $1,400. The S20 series also killed the audio jack. All of the S20 phones have USB 3.2 as their transfer protocol, and all of them have 1440p displays. And if you read right here, this is the last time that Samsung flagship devices all launched with the same display resolution. So previously in the Note 10, we killed the audio jack. Now in the Note 20, we've launched a new phone by diluting our product portfolio, giving it the Ultra feel. We charged $1,400 for that phone. And that was about it. I mean, it had what? The 100 SpaceX zoom or something like that. It was kind of received. Midway through 2020, this is where Samsung gets this aha idea to see what they can really get away with. You have what was called the S10 Lite. It was a $650 phone. It was bigger than the S10 Plus or the 5G at 6.7 inches. It had a 1080p flat display, but that display was protected by Gorilla Glass 3. It had no wireless charging, no expandable storage, and the plastic back makes a return. Since the S6, Samsung's had a glass back. Well, the S10 Lite brought back the plastic backing. Now that shit that started rolling down the hill, we're picking up some more speed. At this point, we've removed the audio jack. We've introduced a phone with a plastic back for $700. We've introduced a new moniker and charged more money for these phones. The fall of 2020, well, now the shit's really picking up some speed. You have the Note 20 that gets launched, but there's 2 of them. The base Note 20 is $1,000. And that plastic back that Samsung introduced with the S10 Lite makes a return. You're paying $1,000 in 2020 for a phone with a plastic back, with a 1080p display and Gorilla Glass 5, and no expandable storage. That's not a Note. The Note was always supposed to be the uncompromised device from Samsung. Every bell and every whistle. To get the expandable storage, to get the 1440p display, to get the premium feeling of what you're paying for, you had to pay $1,200 and get the Note 20 Ultra. And even at $1,200 or even at $1,400 for the S20 Ultra, you don't even get USB-C headphones. Like, really? You've jacked the price of these phones up, but you don't get anything new in the box. And also, this is where Samsung's going through a weird design phase because the S10 cameras were horizontal. The S20 had them up in the corner. The S10 Lite had the same camera module, unrelated to the S10 series. And then the Note 20 has the camera module here, and again in the upper right corner. Could you imagine paying $1,000 for a phone in 2020 with a plastic back? What the hell is Samsung doing? Well, if 2020, the ball of shit rolling down the hill, picked up some speed, in 2021, it's gotten faster. So in 2021, they launched the S20 FE. We went from the S10 SE or the S10e to the S10 Lite to the S20 FE. And the FE was a $700 phone with Gorilla Glass 3 protecting a 1080p flat display on a plastic back. And the S20 FE is the last flagship from Samsung with expandable storage. Now, the S21 FE was launched here in 2022, and it's the same as the S20 FE. Only the S21 has Gorilla Glass Victus, and the S21 has no wall adapter. So 2021 isn't off to a good start, because now the shit that was rolling down the hill, it landed at the bottom, and we have a shit show. This is where it really gets interesting. The S21 series was announced in 2021. You had one for $800, the S21 Plus for $1,000, and that Ultra moniker came back for $1,200. So the price come down a little bit. Or did it? Because you have no wall adapter, you have no expandable storage. Remind you of the S6. When Samsung announced the S6, it didn't have expandable storage, so that ideology came back. The S21 and the 21 Plus have a 1080p display. The only flagship that's got a 1440p display is the Ultra. All the phones have USB 3.2 as a transfer protocol. The Ultra can use the S Pen, but it's not included with the phone. So you want me to spend $1,200 for an Ultra phone without giving me the pen to use it, without giving me the wall adapter to charge it, without giving me expandable storage, and without giving me an audio jack? But you're going to charge me $1,200. Really? S22 here in 2022 is the same as the S21. There are two exceptions. The S22 Ultra now includes the pen in with the phone. And the S22 Ultra is the second phone from Samsung supporting 1 terabyte of internal storage. And also here in 2022, Samsung officially kills the Note, combining the Note with the S series, making the Ultra series, even though there's nothing Ultra about it. But wait, there's more. In 2020, Samsung announced the Flip phone. $1,400 phone with only one storage option, 256 gigabytes of storage. Not waterproof, not dust resistant, no expandable storage, no audio jack. The Flip 3 and the Flip 4 are the same phone, except the 4 is barely waterproof and it still isn't dust resistant. All of the Flips use USB 2.0 as a transfer speed. This is 2022, and that Flip 4 is a $1,000 phone, and you want me, and you think it's okay that it has a 22-year-old transfer protocol technology on it? When a $700 phone, FE edition, has USB 3.2 transfer protocol? Bullshit. It doesn't get any better. The Flip's cousin, you have the Fold. In 2019, Samsung launched the Fold at a whopping $1,900 with no expandable storage, no audio jack, and not even water resistant or dust resistant. And it was riddled with issues. And then in 2020, you had the Fold 2 for $2,000, so the price went up. Then the 3 and the 4 came out, with the 4 just relaunched this year in 2022 at $1,800. You get no expandable storage, no headphones, not even USB-C headphones, and you get no wall adapter. And the Fold 4 can use a special S Pen from Samsung that's not even included in with the damn phone. You're paying nearly $2,000, I need to learn how to write, for a phone, and all you get is just the phone that's been skimped on with features. What's so cool about it? It folds in half. Yay. Big deal. If I'm spending $2,000 on a cell phone, that damn phone better be top of the line in every damn category imaginable. And it better be as durable as the device that it's replacing, not more fragile. And you may be wondering at this point then, why do I keep mentioning the USB transfer protocol? Why does it matter about the wall adapter or expandable storage or the headphones? It matters because, as I mentioned, paying $1,000 for a Flip 4 from Samsung here in 2022 with USB 2.0 transfer speeds when USB 2.0 came out in 2000 seems asinine, in my opinion. And that transfer protocol, that USB 2.0, limits how fast you can transfer your data from that device to a host device, say your PC. Here's an example. USB 2.0's transfer speed, in theory, is 480 megabits a second, which is about 60 megabytes. 1 minute of 4K video is about 800 megabytes. And transferring that 1 minute of 4K video from the Flip 4 to what I'm trying to convey is, if you bought that Flip 4 here in 2022 for $1,000, it has USB 2.0 as the transfer protocol to transfer files across the USB interface. Now, let's say you have that phone and you flip it out to record your child's Christmas concert and you're shooting 4K 60. No, it's got 4K 30. I believe it does 4K 30. 4K 30 frames a second. It's about 60 megabytes for the bit rate. 1 minute is 500 megabytes, thereabouts, 500 megabytes. So let's say you record the concert and it's 10 minutes. Well, that 10-minute 4K video is going to be 4.5, 5 gigabytes of data. And then you get home and you want to transfer that from the phone to your permanent storage device, whatever it may be. Well, it has to transfer at USB 2.0 speeds, and in the real world, you're going to get about 20, maybe 25 megabytes a second. So you're looking at 5 minutes to transfer that file. Thereabouts, about 5 minutes to transfer that file. Versus if it had USB 3.0 or higher, it would be 2 minutes, under a minute, if that. So to me, you're paying premium money in 2022 for a 20-year-old technology that it uses to transfer media from it to another device. And I believe that's stupid. I believe you're getting ripped off. Now, the wall adapter, the expandable storage, and the headphones, that's a bunch of bullshit, in my opinion. The wall adapter, okay, is it environmental? I understand the idea behind it. I still have the S10 box with unused headphones, the unused USB-C cable, and the unused adapter still in the box. So I can understand, in theory, of why removing the wall adapter from the box could save on the environment, but they're still making the wall adapters, but now they're putting them in separate packaging and then charging an extra amount of money selling them to you. The phone didn't get cheaper in price, it got more expensive in price. I'd be okay with the charger being removed if the phone was cheaper, but it's not. Expandable storage was removed. That's a crapshoot. In my opinion, it's still another bullshit game from Samsung to wring as much money as they can out of you, the consumer. Because now they can sell multiple devices, all of them are the same. Rather you have an S21 Ultra or an S22 Ultra, 128 gig base, or the 256 gig. It's the same damn phone, but you're paying an extra $100 for an extra 128 gigs of data or storage. And some may claim that the internal storage, which is UFS 3.0, I believe, on these devices, is faster than the memory card itself. But in my opinion, is the average user going to know that? Probably not. And is it going to matter? No. Because the convenience of having your phone and popping open the SIM card tray, pulling out that memory card, putting that memory card in your new phone and powering it on, and your 200 gigs of data of pictures and movies is transferred to this phone instantaneously, just seems like that's the better way to go. Some may think, or some may say that because with the expandable storage removed, now you are enticed to pay Samsung a monthly fee for their cloud services. So let me ask you this question, and you can let me know down in the comments. Cell phone manufacturers are removing the expandable storage from their phones. But what if Nikon did that to their cameras? What if Sony did it to their cameras? What if GoPro come out in 2023 and said, we no longer offer, our new GoPro does not accept expandable storage. You have to buy each camera with a predetermined amount of storage on it. How do you think the communities of those devices are going to react? Take Red, an $8,000+ camera, and it comes out and they say, oh, well, we no longer support memory cards. You pay $12,000 for a camera that's got 1 terabyte of storage. You pay another $20,000 for a camera that's got 2 terabytes of storage. Do you think people that use those cameras are going to like that idea? Probably not. Now, what about headphones? Well, is it really environmental removing the headphones? Maybe. But Samsung removed the audio jack and then developed an 3.5 millimeter audio jack to USB-C dongle. So you created a problem and then created a solution to the problem that Samsung created. That doesn't make any damn sense. That's not really environmental. That's my opinion. But these phones are rather expensive for what they are. At $1,200 for an S22 Ultra, Samsung could throw in a pair of USB-C headphones. Well, why not? Or, in my opinion, is Samsung is following in the suit of Apple. Samsung mocked Apple for removing the audio jack, and they mocked Apple for not having expandable storage. It's what they use to differentiate themselves from Apple. And yet, they turn around and follow Apple's lead. Are they mocking Apple? Or are they trying to get in bed with Apple? Now, to be fair, there are other phones on the market that have expandable storage. The only flagship phone that has expandable storage is the Sony Xperia Mark 1 Mark IV and 5 Mark IV. The Sony Xperia 1 Mark IV is a $1,600 phone, and it has expandable storage, and it has an audio jack, and it's $200 cheaper than Samsung's overpriced crappy Fold 4. And the Sony Xperia 1 Mark IV has a beautiful 4K screen or display. Now, a phone that small or a display that small with 4K resolution, can you really tell the difference? That's a topic for another day, because then maybe 1080p is good for you and 1440p doesn't matter to you as a consumer. And Samsung's own mid-range phones, the A series, has both expandable storage and an audio jack. So they still do it. Samsung's still supporting the expandable storage and the audio jack, just not on their flagship phone. With that, it could be argued then that a true upgrade to my S10 Plus would have been the Sony Xperia 1 Mark IV. But as stated, that phone is $1,600. And I don't, psychologically, I'm not there to spend $1,600 on a phone. It was enough psychologically in 2019 to spend $1,000 on this phone. But there's a little bit more to that, and that is because I have a Watch 5 Pro and I have a Watch Classic from Samsung, and I love this Watch 5 Pro. And research has shown that Samsung's smartwatches don't really work with other phones. And there are not really any other great looking smartwatches. There's Tag Heuer with a Connect 4. I think it's Connect 4. I forget what it's called. But it's a $2,000 piece of watch too. If I can't spend $1,600 on a phone, I don't think I can spend $2,000 on a Tag Heuer watch. In the end, my opinion is that Samsung is practicing skimpflation. They're reorganizing their product portfolio. They're removing features. They're skimping on the device, charging you more money. In some cases, and charging you the same amount of money. In some cases, charging you more money. An S22 Plus has a 1080p display for $1,000, but this S10 Plus has a 1440p display for $1,000. Because of that skimpflation, because of them removing so many features, and because the price is getting inflated, this Note 20 may be the last Samsung phone that I purchase. And it may, in 3 or 4 years or longer, it may push me into a different ecosystem. Maybe it's going to be Sony. Or maybe I'm just going to rock this phone until the bitch dies. But this is all my opinion that I've put into this video for you to sit down and watch. Do you agree or do you disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. If you liked it, we'll hit the button. But if you didn't, you're going to let me know one way or the other, right? And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.